The virtue of fun, humor, play, laughter. I don't care who you are. You need to be having more fun today. Because today we are being triggered by negativity and stress. And, when I give a speech, people very often would come up to me and they would throw their arms around me and they tell me they haven't laughed for like a decade, which I actually think is impossible. But we don't laugh enough. In fact, we don't have enough fun. People often think fun and having fun is frivolous. It's not necessary. It doesn't help me accomplish my goals. When actually having fun, being playful, taking yourself lightly is critical to help disengage your stress response. It's actually necessary, and especially today. So we are far more motivated. Even before any sort of pandemic, we're far more motivated by negative events, negativity, and stress. So fear, anxiety, anger, what if we didn't have these things? We would literally not be here right now. We wouldn't have survived. It's a very old stress response. It's built into our DNA. It's who we are. And it's not optional, by the way. You don't get to go, oh, I'm not going to be stressed out, or I'm not going to have anger or fear ever in my life. It is a trigger. We can't stop it from happening, but we can find some tools to help us to calm ourselves. So what happens with stress is anything like fear, anger it is a trigger. And then it triggers our fight, flight, or freeze response. It releases adrenaline and ultimately cortisol, which longer term is really hard on you. But it makes you flight or freeze from situations, which again, when we're cave people, that's really important to survive. Today, our stress, see, we're triggered by little things, right? I think that today, just walking to a grocery store, when people have a mask on and they, plexiglass in front, and we have to keep 6 meters away from each other, people are skeptical. We're triggered all the time. See, and that's part of survival. And so we're just doing what naturally we would do. The only way out of this is to start to balance some of those challenging hormones with the things like dopamine. So dopamine are the positives. They actually reverse the stress cycle. It stops your the muscle tension that comes with stress. It slows down your heart rate, your blood pressure. It releases dopamine. So anytime you laugh, when you play, when you have fun, actually even when you do positive thinking, when you're compassionate, when you connect with someone, you release things like dopamine, serotonin, and oxytocin. All of these things keep us happy. Now, I ask people all the time in a seminar, in a thing like this, a virtual, and I ask them, what is happiness? And they will say things like, the other day a girl said swimming and being with my grandchildren, and one girl likes being on a plane, so I do sometimes too. This brings them happiness. So these are all things that will bring you happiness, but it's not actually happiness itself. Happiness, it's very simple. It's actually just chemicals in our brain. That's it. Now, some people naturally have a higher level of dopamine and serotonin on their own without the effort. Some of us have to work harder at it. But actually, we all have to work harder at it. So we're geared for stress because it helps us survive. Dopamine, positive things, they're kind of optional. Like, you don't have to be positive, right? It's not going to help you survive. It's not going to make you move forward, really. It's going to feel good. So think about your day right now. You probably fight fires all day, don't you? Like even today, don't you chase around after problems? What needs your attention? Oh, it's a problem. When someone's difficult, they get attention right away, right? The positive, happy people, they're sort of optional. It's nice, but we have to deal with that problem first, right? So our life is geared around stress. We are motivated by the things that stress us out. It's in our DNA. Again, you don't opt out of it. It happens, but we do have dopamine because that's what happiness is. It's the positive emotions, positive hormones, which lead to positive emotions as well, and ultimately positive thoughts. And so let's get more dopamine. Dopamine is optional. It's like marshmallows. It feels good. It's comfortable, but we have to work for it. So this is where I think fun and play comes in. When you're having fun, the time flies by. So people often think that even having fun is hard, right? Like it's going to be difficult. But think of the last time you had a good time. If you look back at it, you wouldn't think, well, that was really hard. It wasn't. It was actually, the time flew by. It was fun. So this is why fun and play is so critical in stress. Because the minute you start thinking something's difficult or hard, you're engaging your stress cycle. So think of it this way. Again, it's happening without our knowing it, but we're being triggered by stress all the time. You can actually take stress or fun, and you can make either of them stressful, right? Like you don't try hard to have fun, just have fun. So I'm going to give you a couple of ways to do that. Again, we're just balancing the dopamine so we can be happier over time. So a habit takes 21 days to 30 days. You have to do it on a regular basis. You'll start to notice a difference. I think the best way to do it, studies show that they've taken people who have pretty bad depression, and what they've done is they've thrown happy events and things into their calendars, and they've done more happy and positive things, and it's helped pull them out of depression. I'm not saying that's going to happen for everybody, but it's certainly worth a try. And if you're just experiencing a lot of anxiety and stress, this is for you. So what you do, this is so great. You see, our anticipation of an event gives us more joy than the actual event itself. Isn't that crazy? So just thinking about it. Same thing as fear. Our anticipation of a fearful event creates more fear than the actual event itself. I see that with public speaking. You worry about it and worry about it, then you're actually up there and you're like, this is great. What was I worried about? So create moments. 2 things I want to suggest to help you create more fun in your life. And just start doing it. Trust me, start doing it and it'll make a big difference. And don't make it hard, just make it fun. So the first one is to schedule fun things into your life, because of that anticipation effect. So think about what is fun for you. Some people you have to think really hard. You don't think about it, but feel what was fun, right? It's a being, it's a feeling. So whatever you think is fun, skateboarding, swimming, you need to pick some easy ones that you can do throughout the day. So at least once a day, you want to do something that's fun. And I don't think watching TV counts. Or tuning out through technology. There's a lot of mixed emotion in that. And actually, in a lot of ways, these crazy devices are just stimulating our fear response, so it's kind of a combination. But stay away from that. So instead, like just real life fun, with real people. Do some simple things in your calendar that create fun for you. And it's fun because the time is flying by and it feels good. Now, then you want to also anticipate fun in the future. And do it with people. So we laugh somewhere between 10 to 20 times more when we're around people than when we're by ourselves. So that's promising and also a challenge when you're isolating. So you need other people to laugh with you. So think about events that you can create or be involved in where there's other people there that you will look forward to. Yes, and then actually look forward to them. So it's like when you're dreaming, then you stop and you think about that event coming up over the weekend, and that will make you feel more connected to the activities of the weekend. You'll be getting the dopamine rush now, which actually there's more leverage in that than the actual event itself, right? And then the other one, and this is the one I use more than ever, is actually we laugh at the tough stuff. We laugh when things go wrong. Naturally, something that's funny is conflict and stress. So let's just turn that around. When you think about things as complicated or difficult, look for ways to make it fun. Like just exploit the fun in the difficult. Okay, so you're actually taking negative things and getting your brain to think of them in a positive way. So something you dread, paperwork. The truth is I used to dread public speaking, and this is what changed it for me, is I was so worried and nervous and scared and getting up to speak, and then I actually made it a whole career because I had a mentor, and he taught me just to have fun. He said, whatever you do, when you go up there, just have a great time. That's it. Don't worry about anything else. And I was taking it so seriously, myself so seriously. I started getting up there and just thinking about, hey, this is fun. This is engaging, this is fun, and I'd laugh more. And I found that what made it fun is if I interacted more with the audience, got their engagement, used more comedy, and it started to truly transform itself. So anything that you find stressful, think about, first of all, just start to imagine it being more fun. Like, how can I do this? Because if you dread doing it and fun makes the time fly by, you may as well make it go by faster. And how can I make this fun? And then start doing that and also think about it as fun. Okay, so there you go. We have this incredible stress response that's in charge. It is motivating us, but in a way that's very challenging on our health and our bodies. We need to work a little bit for some dopamine to help create more happiness in our lives right now. And we're going to do that by having a little bit more fun. And you're going to plan fun things into your day, short, fun little snippets, or longer term things that you look forward to. You're going to spend a little bit of time anticipating how exciting they're going to be. And also, you're going to take challenging things in your life and start thinking about them as fun and looking for ways to make them just a little more fun.